Good evening and welcome. I am Amarachi Ubani. Tonight, Nigeria ascends the global stage again as President Muhammadu Buhari joins other world leaders at the Energy Summit at the United Arab Emirates. Benin Republic joins countries with independent power production as Genesis Energy launches first gas-fired power plant in the country. NCAA warns airlines on arbitrary fare increases, threatens to penalize culprits. And the United States slams Iran with fresh sanctions. We begin tonight with President Muhammadu Buhari's visit to the United Arab Emirates for 3 days. President Buhari will be attending this year's edition of the World Future Energy Summit. The president will, in the course of the visit, join the United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan of Abu Dhabi, and other participants as a special guest of honor at the summit. Now in its 9th year, the summit has developed into one of the world's most influential events dedicated to advancing future energy efficiency and clean technologies. President Buhari will also lead a team of his ministers to bilateral talks with the government of the UAE, after which a number of agreements between both countries on economic, trade and bilateral relations are expected to be signed. He will be accompanied by the Ministers of Power, Works and Housing, Petroleum, Environment, Justice, Trade and Investment, Finance, Foreign Affairs, and the National Security Advisor. He will also meet with Nigerian professionals in the UAE before returning to Abuja on Tuesday, January 19th. And before the president left for the UAE, there were speculations that he has written to the National Assembly withdrawing the 2016 budget. But the spokesperson of the House of Representatives says, as of Friday, January 15th, no letter was received from the office of the president.
Has the National Assembly received any communication from the presidency about any change in the 2016 budget proposal?
As I speak, when we adjourned the House on Thursday, I haven't had any message from Mr. President, from the House, and even up to Friday, I have not had anything. So I also read it in the pages of newspapers that the president has written. Of course, I have not had that, and I cannot say anything authoritative about that, truly speaking. The relationship between the executive and the legislature, I think it has been very cordial. When the supplementary budget was presented by Mr. President, it was seriously taken into consideration. And for us in the House of Representatives, the copy led by Mr. President himself on the 22nd of December is still available with us.
So other matters now. From now on, any airline that embarks on add-on charges, subcharges, or other miscellaneous charges on ticket payments will be seriously penalized by the Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority, the NCAA. The NCAA says it has come to its notice that airlines have been increasing fares without resorting to the Nigeria Civil Aviation regulations. The General Manager, Public Relations, NCAA, Mr. Sam Aduroboye, says in requesting approval for fare increases, relevant factors such as price in aviation fuel, revenue to be generated must not exceed the additional fuel costs burnt by the airline operators during the corresponding period, and it must be on a short-term basis, not exceeding a period of 2 months in each instance. NCAA therefore warns operators who charge passengers without approval to cease doing so forthwith. Genesis Energy, an integrated energy group, is set to build a 360-megawatt power plant in Benin Republic on a fast-track basis. Speaking at a groundbreaking ceremony, the president of the country, Dr. Boni Yayi, says the project, which is the first independent power project in the country, will guarantee a more steady and reliable power for the country. On his part, the chief executive of Energy, Mr. Akinwale Omoboriowo, says the partnership with bankable guarantees is in line with the company's ideology of lighting Africa one community at a time.
With a population less than 10 million people, Benin Republic is one of West Africa's smallest country and a next-door neighbor to Nigeria. Granted the size of the country, its dependence on other countries in various areas is not unfounded. For instance, Benin Republic relies on Nigeria for electricity, 200 megawatts to be precise. Though this supply is not pro bono, but in recent times it has also not been consistent. That challenge seemed to have created a gap in the economic development blueprint of the country. In response, the Beninois government has found solace yet again from Nigeria, this time from a Nigerian company. Genesis Energy will be building a generation capacity of power of 360 megawatts, an equivalent of 30% of Benin Republic's power need.
So we're running two different models. One model is it's a gas turbine-based IPP, which is 100 megawatt worth of General Electric, highly efficient gas turbines. They're going to run on gas, which is going to come off the West African gas pipeline. Okay. And the second is what we call the embedded generation type project, which is running Cummins gas engines to embed to an existing substation, also in Maragleta, to feed the immediate community in and around Maragleta.
To capture this history in the making, being the first independent power project to be built in Benin Republic, Channels TV makes this trip to the country. The project is significant in more ways than one. The government of the country won't be contributing any brass cent to the project. 20 megawatts will be pushed directly to the distribution, to the host area and environment, talking about Maragleta. It's also to be built on a fast-track basis of 90 days for the 20 megawatts and 9 months period for the initial 100 megawatts. A whopping $190 million will be invested by Genesis Energy and its partners in this power plant. Despite the change of government which is around the corner, this project has been secured by a bankable power purchase agreement to provide clean, competitive and reliable electricity. At the groundbreaking ceremony for this project, I asked the energy chief of the country how significant this is.
I would say a competitive power system, right, is a very critical infrastructure for any country who want to engage into economic and social development. So this is a stepping stone in that direction for Benin. Genesis Energy Holding is bringing in, I would say, top-notch technology at very competitive electricity price, and we are going to work together for the next 20 to 25 years. So we hope that they'll be around and work with us on the next power plants with several other IPPs that we are in negotiation with now.
The president, Dr. Boni Yayi, also tells me about the positives of this project to his people.
Donc l'énergie étant l'alpha et l'oméga pour le développement, ce projet vient à point nommé.
This project is coming at the right time.
À terme, fournira de l'énergie,
Eventually, it will provide
ce qui nous permettra de créer plus d'emplois à la jeunesse.
That will enable to create job opportunities to the youths.
En quête aujourd'hui donc d'emploi, donc comment dirais-je, aujourd'hui menacé par un chômage chronique et un sous-emploi chronique qui menace notre démocratie.
And to face the fatal joblessness and underemployment of the youth.
Donc pour nous autres, cet acte vient renforcer la démocratie à laquelle notre peuple est si attaché.
The socio-economic realities of Benin Republic is significant and still growing. From a registered 4 industries in 2012, it has grown to 28 in 2015. And so, energy remains sacrosanct. To which extent, the country is now making diverse huge investments through partnerships to ramp up generation capacity. Olu Phillips, Channels Television News.
In part 2, after the break, we'll have more on Benin Republic's independent power project. I'll be joined on the news at 10 by the Managing Director of CCS Technology Limited, Usiagu Arthur. Please stay with us.